thanks so much for meeting with me. And if you could start off and just tell us about yourself and how you came to faith in Jesus.
Yeah, I'm from California originally, just born and raised. I've been performing professionally for the last 10 years. About 6 or 7 years ago, a friend sent me a notice for the auditions for Sight and Sound theaters, and we both flew out here to audition, and both got cast. So I started working here in 2018, and I've been working here as an actor since. Yeah, how I came to Jesus, I grew up in a Christian home. I remember at a young age, not exactly sure what age, but my grandma, after I had a nightmare, she led me to Christ. Shortly after that, she was talking to my mom, so I spoke with my grandma. She led me to Christ, and then again, I just had that reaffirmation of faith as a teenager too, when I knew more of who the Lord was and the life I wanted to live.
That's awesome. Now, are you in Lancaster Sight and Sound? Is that where you are?
Yeah, Lancaster Sight and Sound.
Okay, awesome. So how has God gifted you, and how are you using those gifts?
Yeah, I just think creatively. I've always loved telling stories, and that manifested with me just telling stories on stage theatrically. So with singing, with acting, with dancing, something you all are familiar with. But yeah, I think I started at high school. My senior year of high school was my first play, and just the bug got me from then on. And I knew it was something that I wanted to do. And I got connected with a lot of great community theaters in the area. One specifically was called Lifehouse Theater in Redlands, California, which is a Christian community theater out there. And I still have some wonderful friends from that time. And a couple friends now are actually working at the theater here in Sight and Sound. So it really opened the door and paved the way for me to be here. So yeah, it's been exciting. But yeah, I would just say creatively, I love writing stories. I love composing music, and I was able to compose a little bit of music here for the show of David.
Wow,
That premiered last year. So I was a part of a team that did that, and that was a big blessing.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And how do you see, or have you seen yourself growing over the years and all the different things that you've been able to do? How do you see God growing you in maybe different ways?
Yeah. Wow. So many ways, right? I think the one that's probably been the most for me is probably just like trust and patience. I am someone who's always kind of like looking for what's next, and I'm always like trying to make connections and just trying to like lay the next foundation and make sure it's ready. But God's really just shown me to just rest in where I'm at and rest in what He's currently given me. And it's not bad to look forward. You know what I mean? It's definitely not. He created me that way to look forward, but I think He also has to remind me to be at peace at where I'm at and to not miss out on anything in relationships and experiences by continually trying to look forward, just like relaxing and letting Him do the work where I currently am sitting.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you have any encouragement or advice for our students?
Um, let's see. You know, I when I was like younger, I really wish I would have learned how to react better to things. I think that when you're younger, there's a lot you can't control. Things are kind of done for you, and I think when you're younger, you want more control as well. And so, but I think what the Lord has taught me, even now I'm in my 30s now, is that we have so much freedom in how we react. He's given us that freedom. So in a sense, we do have so much control over ourselves. And sometimes we forget about that. We feel like we need to respond a certain way in order to get, attention or exactly what we want. But really, I think if we can react well to things that we can't control, already you're going to be a step ahead than most of the people around you, because yeah, it's so incredibly important. And God's taught me a lot about how much freedom that we have in that. And it's rewarding too to be someone who diffuses situations rather than just like causes more conflict too. So just always willing to be someone to quickly forgive others around you, and to move past, and to encourage, and to see others the way God sees them, and not the way that people can just perceive them who maybe don't have a relationship with the Lord. Be someone who speaks God's truth into them.
That's awesome. And how do you do that? I'm just on a personal level, just curious. How
Oh
do you do
yeah.
that?
Well, I mean, again, it's just like willing to just take a breath when a situation comes up that, is not something, you definitely want to be in, or you're excited about, or you're happy with. And if you can just like quickly pray about it, and like, Lord, how do you want me to respond to this? Like, always, if you have time, ask the Lord how you want to respond to this. And the more you do that, the more times when you don't have time to get away and pray about it, the Lord will remind you of who you are and who you want to be by who you were when you had time to pray about it, and give you the words that you need to be that good person in that moment. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Great. And Shane, how can we be praying for you?
Yeah, I feel a season of change coming up in my life. I'm not exactly sure what that means yet, but the Lord has just kind of impressed on me that there is just a season of change, and I am just learning to, again, just with that trust and patience, to just rely on Him. And so I would love, yeah, love prayer for just like direction, and to just allow the Lord to work, work in my life, and get me connected to where I need to be connected, and yeah, he's so good. Just God is so good. And the older you get, the more you can turn around and realize how exactly he's shown up in your life. And so always be someone who is grateful. You know what I mean? Always be someone who is quick to remember the good times, and start tying those good times together too, because that is the Lord. The Lord is tying those times together in your life, and remember those moments too, and rest in those moments as you move forward. But yeah, just prayer for that. Prayer for direction would be wonderful. Thank you.
All right, Shane, thank you so much again for being with us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.